Everybody to the next generation of sports talk radio, the score on air, thescore.com. The score, as you can see, I'm back again. Let's just say I was put on a bit of a hiatus. So eventually I could not do any shows, and as we all know, if you live with your mothers, you totally understand that. Now, the thing is that I've basically been kind of recapping on all of the stuff that's been going on in WWE. I watched Raw for the past 2 weeks. I did manage to watch Fastlane on Sunday, and boy, it is going to be one crazy, crazy day. And so, speaking of Fastlane that happened this past Sunday, oh man, that Fastlane was completely insane. And I mean, so many matches were high octane, fast paced. It was like, wow. I really couldn't believe it. So we're gonna start off with the kickoff show that started off the night. We had the battle between the New Day, Xavier Woods and Big E, Kofi Kingston's boys, if you will, his homies, against Alexander Rusev, or Rusev as he goes by now. I'm calling him by his old name, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, the thing is that Shinsuke and Rusev weren't really on the same page as most tag teams are, like the New Day, for example. They're more in sync than they were, and I was actually happy with the outcome from the match. So the New Day winning, yay! Never thought that would happen, but life changes. Then moving on down the line, it started off with the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match. The co-besties Shane McMahon and The Miz. Now, if you guys didn't already know this, The Miz is not actually from Hollywood, California. He is from Cleveland, Ohio. So that's another huge thing to go on. And The Miz's dad was in the audience when this match was all going down. Shane and the Usos fired their best hits. And let's just say it didn't go well for the co-besties. And it resulted in Shane McMahon beating down The Miz in front of his own father. That is just uncalled for, and I really didn't get it at all. And thinking, what is Shane doing? He's just completely demolishing this guy, and in front of his father and the hometown crowd. Now that was just crazy, but we'll get back to Shane McMahon later on in the day. Next, we have the Empress, Asuka, who is defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against the Golden Goddess, Mandy Rose. Now, might you guys know that Mandy Rose basically won against Asuka thanks to a distraction by NXT upstart Lacey Evans. So, eventually Asuka gained her momentum back. But eventually, let's just say Sonya Deville slipped up, and Mandy Rose was not very happy about that. So definitely it was a bit tense, if you will, between the former Absolution members. Now let's see if Mandy will even forgive Sonya heading into tonight's SmackDown, which we will get later on in the show. Now moving on, let's just say Kofi Kingston confronted Mr. McMahon that night at Fastlane to make sure he was included in the WWE title match, but lo and behold, the chairman always gets what he wants, and clearly he didn't want Kofi Kingston competing in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. So eventually he puts him in a handicap match with The Bar, and it was just pathetic display of power from Vince McMahon, and obviously we can't tell him what to do because he's the boss, and if anybody did, then they'd be fired. Moving on down the line, the Revival were in triple threat tag team action between Ricochet and Aleister Black against the former tag team champions in their own right, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Now that match was filled with twists and turns and just so many high-flying moves and ground and pound, and all three of those teams did amazing on Sunday. But definitely you got to give props to the Revival for retaining their gold. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Revival, I really wanted to see Ricochet and Aleister Black move on to actually win the tag team gold. Because when you think about it, Ricochet and Aleister Black have made a huge headway on being tag team champions. Well, actually working as a tag team, but see, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I really would have loved to see Aleister Black and Ricochet become Raw tag team champions, even though they haven't really decided when either they be going to Raw or SmackDown. But that's still to be determined in the future. But if they would have won the Raw Tag Team Championships, then they would have no choice but to stay on Raw, and I would have loved to see that. Probably everybody in the building wanted to also. Then going on down, Samoa Joe, who was crowned the new United States champion at least a week or two before Fastlane was around by defeating R-Truth. So Samoa Joe had to face the former United States champion R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, and Andreas Sarin Almas. So let's just say all three competitors put out their all. Rey Mysterio bringing out the high flies as well as Andrade. But let's just say the Samoan Submission Machine knocked out Rey Mysterio with the Coquina Clutch, and Joe retains the United States Championship. Now, we will get on to the United States Champ in a second. So, well, actually later on in the program, but you guys get my drift. Now, moving on, the Women's Tag Team Championship match. The first defense for Bayley and Sasha Banks to be defending their championships. It was between Nia Jax and Tamina. Now, mind you that these two women are powerhouses. But turns out the match ended in a disqualification due to a huge brawl that broke out. And let's just say WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix was not taking it. And also she eventually got her licks in between Tamina and Nia, but eventually got outnumbered. But let's just say the Glamazon had some backup. She definitely did have some backup in the form of her former tag team bestie, Natalya, who came to her rescue. And we'll get to those two lovely women later on when we're talking about Monday Night Raw that happened last night. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And then Daniel Bryan eventually best Kevin Owens, who was picked by Mr. McMahon to actually win the WWE title, and the return of Mustafa Ali, who was injured around the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was going on. So eventually, he got his chance to actually compete for the big title, but both men couldn't top Daniel Bryan, even though Kevin Owens took out Eric Rowan on the outside. But it really wasn't enough. Bryan retains, and as you can see, he's still the WWE champion. Moving on and down the line, we have, let's just say, Becky Lynch, despite literally being on a bum leg and her arm bandaged up, she actually managed to beat Charlotte. Well, not actually, pin her 1, 2, 3, but thanks to the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, Charlotte was disqualified, giving the man her opportunity to go to the big dance. So it is official. It is a triple threat match between Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. And as she stated last week on Raw, before Fastlane, let's just say that Ronda is going by her own rules and not going by WWE standards. And I like this Ronda. I liked her when she was a face, and I'm loving her now as a heel. So this, I'm going to enjoy very, very much. And also, definitely, good luck to all those women on Sunday. Then, let's just say Elias can never get a concert in because obviously Randy Orton wasn't a big fan of Elias's music, delivering an RKO out of nowhere. But let's just say after Randy Orton's remarks from AJ Styles last Tuesday before Fastlane, let's just say Styles got a bit of redemption on the Viper. I wonder how this will play out tonight on SmackDown. We'll have to find out. Now, moving on. Now this, if you guys have been riding with the Shield since 2012, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. The Shield, this was their last match together as Roman Reigns came back from a battle with leukemia. Seth Rollins is set to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Universal title, and Dean Ambrose, who will be leaving the WWE in April, even though they said his future is determined. But it's obvious he didn't re-sign his contract, and he's not going to be around the company anymore. So obviously, the Shield decided to end their last match together with a bang by defeating the almighty Bobby Lashley, the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, and former Raw general manager or general manager-elect Baron Corbin. So let's just say that the Shield came out on top, and it's going to be hard to say goodbye to the Shield. And that's not going to be the only bad news that we have for tonight. And having to see all the Shield members together again, having Roman coming back from being in remission, and it just warms my heart to see that Roman Reigns is back in action where he belongs. And me personally, with battling cancer myself, it's never easy for the ones that are around you or the people that you are close with. And I understand where Roman Reigns is coming from. And definitely Fastlane was not a pay-per-view that disappointed. I would say a lot of matches went right. A lot of matches kind of didn't live up to, the hype. And it just didn't really, didn't really kind of blend or mold. Now, the handicap match was just awful. Putting Kofi Kingston against the bar, it was just sad, because obviously Kofi Kingston does deserve to be the WWE champion, but clearly Mr. McMahon isn't ready for that. He needs to understand that the company is changing, and really it's not right to treat your competitor that's been with you for 11 years. Sure, you'll give, no offense, but I love John Cena. You'll give John Cena an opportunity, no problem, but when it comes to Kofi Kingston, you're really not going to give it to him. That's kind of pathetic. But, again, that's the boss, and I can only say what I say. Now, the thing is that since Becky Lynch is now added to the Women's Championship match, the triple threat match for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania, now which woman will come out on top in this match? We all know Ronda had her heel turn, and she's expected to eventually maybe hang on to the title, but we don't know. Becky Lynch kind of made her intentions clear that she doesn't care who she has to go through, whether it's Charlotte or Ronda, or that was Ronda who said that. But either way, all three women are probably going to steal the show. At WrestleMania, that's coming up in probably 26 days now, WrestleMania, the women's match, is going to steal the show, hands down. And definitely, unless, something else might come along, we do not know. But I really do think that the women's championship match for the Raw Women's title will be one that will be talked about for a long, long time. You have matches such as Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. You have Triple H versus The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. The no-holds-barred matches that he had with the Dead Man. Now, these ladies have big shoes to fill. Being the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania, now that's going to be huge. And also with the women's tag team titles being added to the women's ranking as well, that's going to probably be another huge match that'll be involved with the women's division as a whole. And we will talk about WrestleMania a bit later on, heading on to Monday Night Raw. Now, I bet all of you guys are wondering probably what happened. Let's just say Raw probably was on to a very, very good start. The Shield came out, just a lot of emotions running wild, and then, Paul Heyman came out. But I'm not going to give away too much, because that's going to be explained later on in the night. So make sure you guys, have a seat, stay a while. Make sure you guys call the show. The number's right there, 614-641-0674, and I will answer your questions on regarding Fastlane, upcoming WrestleMania, Raw that happened last night, and also SmackDown that'll be coming up tonight as well. So it's going to be one huge event. So we're going to take a little break. So remember, you guys are listening to the Next Generation of Sports Talk Radio, The Score on air.com. The Score.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
Welcome
Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
And welcome back, everybody, to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio. The Score on air, thescore.com, The Score. As you can see, I'm still here, like always. And let's just say that, Raw was filled with a lot of surprises, a lot of drama, a lot of heat, and a lot of stuff heading into WrestleMania. So let's get right on to it. So let's just say The Shield kicked off the night at Raw live from Pittsburgh, PA, and to say their final goodbyes to the WWE Universe as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, the Hounds of Justice, parted ways as Seth Rollins is preparing for Brock Lesnar at the grandest stage of them all, at WrestleMania. So we all know that Seth won the 2019 Royal Rumble, is heading to WrestleMania to face the Beast Brock Lesnar. And let's just say the advocate of the Beast basically said that he's basically on there on behalf of Brock, because obviously Brock thinks he's better to not show up to work, but still he can get a paycheck. Now, let's just say Rollins wasn't really buying Paul Heyman's shtick, if you will. But then, out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin comes out of nowhere and starts suplexing Rollins at least maybe 3 or 4 times. But eventually it results in them having an impromptu match. But obviously the Beast Slayer was not as scared of Shelton Benjamin, who was a former teammate of Brock Lesnar's in his own right. Now, obviously, I think there was a bit of a thing that happened during the first commercial break where Shelton Benjamin is now a Paul Heyman guy now. Now, we take a look back at Paul Heyman's older clients, like The Big Show, RVD, CM Punk, for example. Not all Paul Heyman guys last as long, except for Brock, because obviously Brock seems to, for some reason, Paul Heyman enjoys having Brock around. I don't know why, but that's his thing. But obviously Seth Rollins, the Beast Slayer, is ready for the Beast in time, and we all know that. Now, moving on down, let's just say there was an Intercontinental Championship match between champion Finn Balor and former champion Bobby Lashley. Now, the match was going in Balor's favor when he was about to head up the top for the coup de grace, but the bell rang by a hooded dude. And lo and behold, guess who it was under the hood? It was Lio Rush, Bobby Lashley's hype man, eventually costing Balor the championship after a devastating spear off of the top rope, giving Lashley the 1-2-3, and crowning him the new Intercontinental Champion. Now, this is Lashley's second Intercontinental Championship run, so let's see if he can hang on to it. We don't know, because obviously title rematches are no longer given anymore. So, obviously Balor has to probably fight in order to get his championship rematch. Moving on down, let's just say Ronda Rousey wasn't really feeling the Pittsburgh crowd. Obviously, as we can tell, Ronda's playing by her own rules. And that's understandable. I can agree with that. Because obviously she said Charlotte's a joke, Becky's a joke, and the WWE, I'm going to expose the WWE as a whole. Now, thank you, Albert. I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, my main boss, aka my mother, put me on a no-show thing until I got my grades up. So, mom's word is law, right? But moving on, as we say, Dana Brooke tried to tell Ronda, saying, I need a chance. She kind of wanted to be a voice for the women's locker room, but let's just say, Ronda didn't really take it to heart. She decimated Dana Brooke. And, man, I feel so bad for Dana, but obviously Ronda's on a mission. And the Raw Women's Champion is not in a good mood about anything. So, we already know Ronda is set to prepare for WrestleMania. She already has her sights set on Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. So now we all know Ronda is ready to go. And if I probably have to put my money on WrestleMania, it'd probably either be Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey. Those are my two picks. Charlotte doesn't stand a chance, because obviously she's made enemies out of both of those women. Moving on down. Let's just say Ricochet and Aleister Black have done it again. They bested the former Raw Tag Team Champions, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, in tag team action. Now, we all know that both Ricochet and Aleister Black are NXT upstarts. And eventually, they have done pretty well as a tag team, even though they're known to be singles competitors on their own. So, I feel that there could be a future tag team title match in their futures if they decide to stay on Raw. Now, we haven't seen them face the Usos, but they will be in tag team action on SmackDown, which I will get later on in the broadcast. Now, moving on down. But eventually, before I move on to the next part, eventually Ricochet and Aleister Black, as they were celebrating their victory, let's just say the Revival wasn't having it with the NXT upstarts. But I got a feeling that the Revival will see Ricochet and Aleister Black again. And if you guys didn't catch last Monday's Raw, I know I didn't. But let's just say Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost kind of made the Monster Among Men angry last week, saying, was any of this real? That is the worst possible thing you can ask any wrestling fan, let alone a guy who's probably 7 feet tall. So, eventually, Jolt tried to make it up to the Monster Among Men by sending him a nice, fancy, pretty car. But let's just say the note that came with it just made the monster even more agitated. Now, the thing is that Colin Jost said that he would see Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Now, my advice to him, don't show up. But if he does show up, he's going to get creamed. So either way, either Braun's going to find him, or he's going to get obliterated. And I definitely feel that, yep, Jolt's going to get hurt. Bad. He's probably going to start drinking soup from a straw. But either way, I definitely feel that the note just made Braun even more angrier, and come WrestleMania, all that pent-up frustration that the monster is feeling, it's going to be taken out on him. Now, let's just say the Raw Women's Championship match at Fastlane didn't really kind of end on a high note. Well, not for Beth Phoenix, the WWE Hall of Famer, and Natalya. But let's just say Natty fought back. Let's just say fight fire with fire. She eventually was not alone, and let's just say Beth had her back. Now, if any of you guys have watched WWE maybe in 2008, 2009 territory, Beth Phoenix and Natalya made a very formidable women's tag team. And obviously Beth had Natty's back in the match between Nia Jax and Tamina, but let's just say the match didn't really go off until Beth and ends up getting blindsided. So it resulted in a disqualification win for Natalya. But as Jax and Tamina were leaving, heading into the curtain, guess who was waiting for them? The Boston Hub Connection, the women's tag team champs, waiting to beat them down before as they headed right into the curtain. And let's just say Nia and Tamina have made more enemies than friends. Now heading into WrestleMania, I bet everybody probably saw this coming from like a mile away. As we all know, if you guys did not catch the last Raw that was in February 25th, was Ric Flair's 70th birthday. And let's just say there was an uninvited party guest in the form of the Animal Batista, beating down a 70-year-old Ric Flair. Now, let's just say Triple H didn't take that too kindly. He told Dave Batista to show up last night, and lo and behold, he did. But yet, why would the Animal need security? We don't know. Obviously, Dave is probably scared, but Dave Batista said, "Hunter, give me what I want." And let's just say Triple H gave him what he wanted. It's going to be the Animal Batista versus Triple H. No holds barred. Now, a no holds barred match, that means no disqualifications, no countouts, no rules. That means they can use weapons. They can literally obliterate each other as long as one of them gets the 1, 2, 3. Now, we all know that Triple H is probably more prone to having more no-holds-barred matches than the Animal. Now, this rivalry goes back to at least 2004, where Dave Batista won the Royal Rumble and decided to go after Triple H during his Evolution run. Now, oh boy. Oh, man. Let's just say this rivalry was boring and boiling, not boring. Heck no, it wasn't boring. But let's just say around SmackDown's 1000th episode, Batista started a spark. That flame escalated when he attacked Ric Flair. And now this rivalry is going to come to a head at the grandest stage of them all. So everybody batten down the hatches in New York because the Animal versus the Game is on. And speaking of WrestleMania, this is really sad to read because Kurt Angle is going to have his farewell match at this year's WrestleMania. I don't want Kurt to leave, but again, this is his decision. And clearly he feels that he doesn't need to be around anymore. He's got all these young guys he has to compete with, and he decides, I think retirement is the best time for me. But I think retiring at WrestleMania is probably the best thing he can do. He can come out with a win or come out with a loser, but still get a standing ovation. That's kind of how it went. Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania in his last match. Shawn Michaels lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26 in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, farewell matches aren't that bad, but depending on how big the superstar's pedigree is, it can be huge. And excuse me for that. And also, I think I skipped something. Oh, Alexa Bliss will also be the host of this year's WrestleMania. I'm not even going to touch that subject. It's already a disaster in itself. And then Roman Reigns would be turning the action 5 months to face Baron Corbin, a guy that basically kind of just, shut him down. But eventually he got blindsided by Drew McIntyre. Dean took that to offense, faced Drew McIntyre in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and let's just say Dean got decimated, and it was hard to watch. So we're going to be taking another break, guys, and I'll make sure you guys don't go anywhere. And remember, you guys are listening to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio, the score on air.com. The Score.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
London Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
London Alpha, take 1.
And welcome back, everybody, to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio, the scoreonair.com, the Score. I'm still here, and yes, I'm still blue. And it's funny because it's appropriate. So, as we are moving on down the line, we are going to get into SmackDown Live territory, as well as more Hall of Fame inductions. Woohoo! Now, yes, low budget sound effects. I make those. Now, moving on down the line. Now, if any of you guys watch Fastlane and the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match, after the match, the Shane McMahon eventually attacked The Miz, as I mentioned before on the top of the broadcast. And let's just say that Shane obviously just decided to kind of said, I had enough. I can't deal with this tag team anymore. But the question is, why? Why attack The Miz in front of his hometown and also in front of his father? Why, Shane? Why? We hope to get some answers tonight on SmackDown to hear Shane McMahon's actions. I really think he's probably gonna, maybe have a feud with The Miz. And, maybe have a feud with The Miz since it's heading into WrestleMania season. But we don't know. Moving on down. R-Truth gets his championship rematch against Samoa Joe for the United States Championship. Now, obviously, Truth did not seal the deal, if you will, with the U.S. title match at Fastlane when it was a Fatal 4-Way. Truth did put up a good fight, but obviously Joe's strength was too overwhelming for all three men, including Rey Mysterio, who got choked out by a coquina clutch. So that's going to be pretty hard, but I think I have faith in R-Truth. I have faith in him. Then let's just say this is going to be a 8-man tag that nobody will ever forget. You got the return of Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys, teaming up with Aleister Black and Ricochet to take on the 4-man group of Sheamus, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, I said something else. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. Now, when you think about it, Rusev, Cesaro, and Sheamus have all been in a 4-man group before. So it's kind of like the League of Nations almost again, but minus Alberto Del Rio. So that's kind of funny when I think about it. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. Either way, I went off, but either way, I went away for a second, but now I'm back now. That was odd. But either way, definitely like the League of Nations. So I want to see how this goes. But obviously, I'm putting my money on the Hardy Boys and Ricochet and Aleister Black. Because come on, you got high flyers in the Hardys, you got a high flyer in Ricochet, and you even have a bit of a big man as Aleister Black also on this team. So what do you got to lose? And then also, the Mr. McMahon addresses the Kofi Kingston incident that happened at Fastlane. So the boss is going to be addressing Kofi Kingston on tonight's SmackDown regarding his actions on taking him out of the WWE Championship match, as well as putting him in a handicap match against two former tag team champions in the bar. Now, obviously, Vince McMahon probably has a bit of a complex, saying that Kofi Kingston's so popular now, even with the New Day. But I really think that, oh my gosh, I just can't with Vince. He's got to understand that a lot of stars are getting popular, despite them being with your company for so long. Let them get a push. It's not that hard. It's not even rocket science either. And I really hope Vince has a good explanation about him screwing Kofi Kingston out of a title opportunity. Then also, in Hall of Fame news, we have the Harlem Heat. Now, if you guys don't know what the team was, it was WCW's Booker T and Stevie Ray, who formed the Harlem Heat back in the old WCW days. And they were 10-time tag team champions, I believe. And they were actually brothers. So, yeah. It was announced on Raw last night that the Harlem Heat will be joining this year's class of 2019. And here are your inductees for this year's class. Harlem Heat being one, D-Generation X, Tori Wilson, and the Honky Tonk Man. And also I want to bring up a Hall of Fame birthday too. Mae Young would have been 90 years old today. She was born in 1923. And if Mae Young were still alive today, she'd be 90. I'm thinking like, wow. I mean, that's crazy that she would have been 90 years old today if she didn't pass away. But Mae Young, obviously being a woman who has transcended the women's division as a whole. So, props to Mae Young, and God rest your soul, Mae. We all miss you and we love you. Just, dealing with WWE as a whole. Gonna miss SmackDown tonight. Have a baseball doubleheader to umpire this evening. Ecstatic for Joe. It was too long and it hasn't went for him. That is true. The athleticism of the encounter is mind-blowing. The Hardys versus Black and Ricochet. Oh, yeah, now that. Oh, yeah, that would be a good match to see. That's why Damien Sandow left. Yeah, he did leave. Now he's on TNA now. Well, he goes by a different name now. But either way, the tweets that were issued by Kofi Kingston, I'm going to bring those up and eventually get the rundown on those, because obviously Kofi Kingston has full support from his New Day brothers, so that's going to be something. But either way, I really can't wait for WrestleMania. So let's see what matches we have for right now. We already know the goddess Alexa Bliss is going to be hosting the grandest stage of them all, even though that's just... why? Why does she have to host WrestleMania? Like, seriously, nothing against Alexa Bliss, but couldn't they get somebody else? Like maybe former President Barack Obama, or maybe Whoopi Goldberg, or Neil Patrick Harris, somebody else other than Alexa Bliss? Like, seriously, could they not think of anybody else at a short notice? Because, I can't. I can't anymore. But I'm going to suck it up and deal with it. So we already know Alexa Bliss is going to be hosting this year's WrestleMania. Jeez, that just... ugh. Then, also, we have... what else do we have going on? The Universal Championship match between the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins, and the Beast Brock Lesnar. Now, we all know Brock skips leg day, and if Seth ends up targeting Brock's legs, then he's golden. Finn Balor did that at the Royal Rumble this past year. Well, past few months. So, yeah. Definitely, if Seth goes for the legs, we're golden. And we got a new Universal Champion. Yay! Now, also the Raw Women's Championship match. We have Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet, against the Man versus the Queen, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Now, as I said before, I'm putting my money on either Ronda retaining or Becky winning. Because who doesn't love Becky Lynch? And obviously Charlotte just runs her mouth too much and just can't stand her. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it at all. I can't. But obviously, WrestleMania it's only got a few matches so far. Well, wait, I'm missing one. Batista versus Triple H, no holds barred. So that's, let's see, we have the Universal title, Raw Women's Championship, and also a no holds bar match. So far there's only 3 matches that are going on. Not unless they had a tag team ladder match in there somewhere for, both the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles, then that's what, 2? No, not. That's 3. Then that'd be 5. But who knows if any of that will happen. But either way, we're all also looking forward to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Now, if you guys didn't know this, here's a little tidbit. Shawn Michaels will be joining Ric Flair as a 2-time inductee as well as Booker T. So obviously, Ric Flair being inducted by himself and also involved with the 4 Horsemen gave him his double rings. Now Shawn Michaels and Booker T will also be getting their second rings, because Shawn Michaels was inducted by his best friend, Triple H. Then he'll be inducted along with D-Generation X. And also Booker T was inducted into the Hall of Fame by his brother. Now he's getting inducted again and getting that 2 ring, that second ring. So that's pretty fun. Now, I wonder how it's going to be addressed with China since, she passed away in 2016. I bet they're probably going to give her ring maybe to a close relative or something. But the Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, Triple H, and X-Pac will be getting their rings. So this will be Triple H's first Hall of Fame ring. And then later on down the line, when they acknowledge his attributes and everything, we'll actually get a 2-time ring. So that'll be fun. But either way, I definitely feel that the Hall of Fame induction ceremony and WrestleMania are going to be mind-blowing in 26 days. And it stinks because WrestleMania is before my birthday. But I can live with that. Let's see. I laughed when she was the host. Funny you bring that up. Yeah, Vince probably does like blondes because obviously they had the thing with Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson. So yeah, that one. Yeah. Hope Lacey Evans castrates out and beats. Yeah, I doubt that would happen. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to have WrestleMania with The Undertaker. He's retired now. Man, you have to bring that up, man. But either way, definitely. Having The Undertaker really not being at WrestleMania is gonna be hard because Undertaker was like the main thing, the main guy that shows up at WrestleMania. But he could show up. He could probably show up at WrestleMania. We just don't know that yet. And I don't know. I don't even know if she has any family. I hope she does. But either way, we all know that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mick Foley have spoken out about China before during 2016 at the time of her passing. But I really do think that China does deserve the utmost respect being inducted with D-Generation X, as she's been along with them for the ride for that long. So we are going to be taking our other break. So remember, guys, you're listening to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio, The Score on air.com. The Score.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting...
And welcome back, everybody, to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio. The Score on air, thescore.com. The Score. Fun Size 2.0 here, still here talking about my favorite subject, and that being wrestling. Yes, wrestling. The sport that I live, breathe, and eat. Because obviously, I love to talk about it. So, now, going on around WrestleMania, and if you guys caught I think there was a live press conference regarding around another WrestleMania. Now, next year's WrestleMania in 2020 will be live from Tampa Bay, and I believe it'll be in their baseball coliseum, I believe. I gotta look up more info on that. But it is going to be live next year from Tampa Bay. So, obviously, they might be going for the pirate theme, because there's a pirate flag involved in the logo. But I do think that WrestleMania will definitely be a whole lot different without The Undertaker. And as you pointed out, Albert, he was the essence of WrestleMania. Everybody looked forward to WrestleMania when seeing The Undertaker defend his streak against all these great guys such as Batista, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. It's just hard to figure it out with him not being there. And as we all know, The Undertaker is officially retired now. So obviously we probably won't or maybe will see The Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania, but it's a high possibility that he'll even be there. I don't think he'll be there in the audience. He'll probably be watching it from home. But as we all know, that The Undertaker, believe his birthday is in March, and he'll be 48 years old. So obviously, The Undertaker has been in the WWE for a long, long time, and you gotta respect the man's wishes. So you just gotta go with it. And either way, The Undertaker is a huge person that is respected throughout the WWE, and even if you had the chance to even step in the ring with the guy, it's just, well, for all the competitors that have stepped in the ring with him, know what it's like to actually compete on his level. So it's understandable that he's ready to hang up his boots for good. And I really don't think that there would be probably be anybody else that could compare to his stature with his attributes and everything. And also, there are so many potential bright stars that can main event on WrestleMania, just by themselves. And I definitely think that The Undertaker has really gave WrestleMania the edge that it was huge to watch. And even with all the matches, but everybody probably looked forward to seeing The Undertaker compete. And me being one of them, it's hard that he's not going to be there or be around. So, that's just how it is. And WrestleMania is going to be totally different. Now, I like kind of how they're having host WrestleMania now. But the one that they had, okay, the New Day actually did pretty good at last year's WrestleMania. They did awesome. But having Alexa Bliss take the reins on the grandest stage of them all, the show of shows, yeah, I think that's a bad move on Vince's part. Because I bet she's probably just going to make the whole show about her. Soon she's going to be decorating the whole set in her, like, ring gear colors and stuff. Oh man, then it'd be called Blissamania. Ugh, man, that'd be weird. But either way, WrestleMania is still going to be huge, regardless if the dead man is not there. And it really stinks because Dean Ambrose's contract is going to be up next month, and no more Shield. Man, I really thought they could probably have another run. They're all young, bulky men. But either way, I really think that all the guys in the Shield, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns, have all made a name for themselves in 2012. And then leading up to now, it's just huge on how far these guys have come. And it's just, it's just different seeing them really not together. But even though they've made headway for themselves, heading into their own, going through their separate routes, if you will. They face so many different competitors. All three of them, I could say, have faced Brock Lesnar one-on-one. Roman Reigns obviously being the first guy. Well, actually, no. Seth Rollins was actually the first to step up to Brock Lesnar at first. So this rivalry is nothing new heading into WrestleMania. So let's just say the Beast and the Beast Slayer have some unfinished business. So it's going to be a hard one for definitely for all three of these guys. But definitely, WrestleMania is literally right around the corner. And now that's another thing. When you think of like WrestleMania, you think of HBK, Triple H, The Undertaker, Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, all those guys that have invented WrestleMania before, and yet half of them are either retired or just not showing up. No offense to John, I love you, you're my favorite guy, but where are you? You're nowhere to be found. Literally, we can't see you. But either way, like, definitely, I feel that WrestleMania is still going to be as big as it always is. Because, obviously, I think that thing sells out, like, a lot of seats. And I think when it comes to pay-per-views, WrestleMania reigns supreme in the sports world. Forget the Super Bowl, forget the World Series, forget the World Cup. WrestleMania reigns supreme when selling out arenas. Because they break bone-chilling records on attendance. And I don't think any sports event that goes on in any state would probably break that. Now, I would love to attend a WrestleMania so badly, but again, people save hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get their good seats, their airfare, their hotel, and get access to WrestleMania access. And I'm thinking like, holy cow, like these guys probably spent a fortune just to get there. And they probably have. But either way, I definitely think that the WWE's WrestleMania is the pinnacle of all sports. Huge pay-per-views, because come on, what's bigger than WrestleMania besides the Super Bowl? But I definitely agree that all other sports events that are huge and on pay-per-view don't compare to WrestleMania at all. See, if Rollins doesn't take your advice, he will lose. Who would be the next man up if Rollins falls short? I've got a name in mind. Could it be Drew McIntyre that would come up to mind? Because I bet that's what you were thinking. And Drew McIntyre would actually be a good thing, because think about it. Drew McIntyre is a bit taller than Brock, and also Drew McIntyre has a very uniqueness about himself. He's very slow and calculated and vicious. But I would love to see that match between him and Brock. That'd be awesome. That'd be a dream match right there. The WrestleMania is better than the Super Bowl by light years. Oh yeah, definitely better than the Super Bowl. Because the only time people usually watch the Super Bowl is just for the halftime shows and the commercials. But WrestleMania is a pay-per-view you got to keep your eye on all the time. And the Hall of Fame ceremony doesn't disappoint either. Now, definitely with WrestleMania is just... WrestleMania is huge. It's literally bigger than all those sports events that I just said combined. And as we all know, wrestling is the only sport in the world that doesn't have an off season. Never. Football has an off season. Baseball, basketball, and soccer all have off seasons. But they don't. WWE takes no days off. They're promoting. They're going everywhere to perform in front of thousands of people. They're on the road constantly. They have no time to relax until they don't have anything coming up. So when you work for the WWE, you are as busy as a bee. And I would love, and I mean love, to work for that company so badly. I have probably more knowledge about WWE than probably most people even think. I love the business ever since I watched it when I was like maybe 10, and I still fell in love with it. I enjoy every single minute of watching those guys and girls bust their butts on that mat every day. And I even do commentary from home when I literally feel like I'm at the commentary table talking with all these guys and talking with the guys on the screen. I'm thinking like, okay, like, yeah, they're doing pretty good. And I go like, shut up, Corey. But either way, one of these days I am going to be on that commentary desk. Yeah, I'm going to be on that commentary desk one day, and I'm so going to do one heck of a job. Definitely. And it's funny because they were talking about on these group that I also follow on my Facebook feed. They were talking about getting rid of Renee Young. I'm thinking like, what? Why are they going to get rid of her? She's doing so good. Now, if they wanted to get rid of anybody, they should really get rid of Byron Saxon and put another lady on the commentary team so it's kind of even, because Corey Graves is literally on both Raw and SmackDown doing commentary, which there is nothing wrong with that. But still, if they want to make it even between both of the brands, get another female for the SmackDown commentary team. It makes more sense. But either way, I think that the commentary team should be kind of more, gender, equal amongst, the genders, but I don't know. I'm just gonna go off on a limb. One day event, WrestleMania, hands down. Drew McIntyre is the name I had in mind. Oh, I read your mind. Woo! Got you there. Definitely. You'd be surprised at how many people in my hometown plan their day around WrestleMania. I have no doubt. Yeah. There's no doubt that almost everybody wants to be at WrestleMania, but clearly, it can't be for some people, and I know I'm one of them. Because, oh man, I wish I had the funds to actually go all the way to WrestleMania in New York. I've been to New York, just never been around to WrestleMania or any other big pay-per-view besides, maybe Monday Night Raw. Like, the show I've already been on is like Monday Night Raw, but that's about it. I can't go anywhere else about anything because, got someone in my eye. But either way, I definitely feel that WrestleMania is the hugest event ever, and wrestlers never take an off day, ever. So, definitely with that said, I can get my glasses on. There we go. Ta-da! But definitely, all the guys and the girls in the back definitely are, they're busting their butts every day and making sure that they give us a show that we will never forget. Now, if we're going to talk about storylines, now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. Storylines are key. And as we all know, everyone likes to point out that wrestling is fake. Sure, it's fake, whatever. But for all of us die-hard wrestling fans, we don't care if it's fake. We just like to see someone get punched in the mouth. And I feel that the storylines are too loose and they're easy to see through. Now, if you take a look at Impact Wrestling, for example, their storylines are, they're played out, but the thing is, they're so locked tight that you don't know what's going to come up next. You don't know who's coming out of where, who's coming, who's going. It's locked tight. I mean, really tight, like a crab shell. That's how tight TNA storylines are. Now, WWE storylines, the thing is that people leak them. And they got to have more trust with their writers and everything else. So, now if I became a writer for World Wrestling Entertainment and took charge of their storylines, I would make sure they were so locked up tight that no one else would know what was going to happen. Because obviously it's pathetic to see how low Vince is going and they're kind of just playing off certain things. And I just really think that, oh my gosh, Vince can do so much better. And the creative writers seriously need to wake up. And also on another note, Fox is also willing to bring Friday Night SmackDown back on Fridays. But the thing is that WWE needs to go back to TV14 to give more edgier content. Now, we all know that Vince McMahon is a hold-hearted for the family fun entertainment. Well, newsflash, Vincey boy, it's 2019. There's a literally lot of edgier stuff that's going on in the world. So, I know you're old. Get with the times. Like, seriously. Come on. Your own children probably know how this is going. But clearly he doesn't. So we're not even going to touch that subject at all. Now, that's Ambrose's wife. Yes, it is. Renee Young is his wife. Yes, definitely. Me too. I've never been to New York. I've never been to WrestleMania or New York. Yes. Never said to be a professional wrestler that his craft is fake. It's a recipe for disaster. I've been a news reporter beaten up by professional wrestlers for asking that very question. Yeah, that is the definite no-no when asking wrestlers or a professional wrestler, are their moves fake? Do they fake their injuries? And all that stuff. That is a definitely boo-boo if you ask that. Never, ever ask that at all. I would definitely know better not to ask that to a professional wrestler ever in my life, because I don't want to get beat up at all. But either way, just wrestling as a whole, yeah, I love the stuff. I feel like if I miss it, I feel like I'm probably missing a part of myself, because I hate when I have to miss it, and I can't even record it at my house. So I have to make sure I watch it when it's on, because if I don't, then it's all downhill. Hill. Why did I say heel? But either way, definitely. Now the other question is, the music is key also, involving a pay-per-view. Now, with WrestleMania literally 26 days away. Now, the music that they have for WrestleMania right now, with like the preview and stuff that they have, now that is killer. I like the song. It's bumping, it's jamming. I love it. I love the song. But now, what will be the main theme song of WrestleMania instead of just the side part? Like with last year's WrestleMania, it was Pitbull, Flo Rida, and Lunch Money's Green Light. Now that song I actually have on my phone, and I love it. I love that song. Now, definitely, I have to kind of think, what kind of music will they use for this year's WrestleMania, and then also future pay-per-views to come. Because so far, I'm trying to think, was it either last year's SummerSlam or the year before, they chose a Demi Lovato Cool for the Summer song? I don't think that was the best choice. No offense to Demi, but that song choice did not fit a wrestling SummerSlam at all. It didn't. It really didn't. And I just think that, oh boy, it did not work. It does not work at all. And definitely just having a good song or theme songs for a pay-per-view is definitely key. Like, if you take a look back during the Ruthless Aggression era, they had, like, the most awesomest songs for their pay-per-views. Like, Always, I believe, was for Survivor Series by Saliva. Then, heading into SummerSlam in 2006, they had the Teddy Bears play a song, I think that was called Cobra. And that was actually a pretty moving song, too. Then, let's see, what other song that was good? I think No Mercy at one pay-per-view. No, that was Bad Blood. An old pay-per-view that had Bring Me to Life by Everseen. And I still like that song. That's like, I know it's an emo type song, but I still listen to it. Definitely, songs are definitely key when it comes to building the mood of a pay-per-view or even moving it along. You gotta make sure you capture the crowd as well as keeping the pay-per-view theme going. So with this year's WrestleMania being in New York, trying to think, why not go with Jay-Z's and Alicia Keys' New York song? That would kind of be good, but it's kind of a slow-ish hip hop type song. But I think it would go well with it. But again, I could be wrong, but I don't know better because I'm a child. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a child. But, oh, excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. I'm getting tired all of a sudden. But either way, WrestleMania is the biggest pay-per-view ever. And then after that, I believe it is Backlash that is after WrestleMania. So, and as we all know, people make surprise appearances after the grandest stage of them all. So, who would make a surprise after WrestleMania? That is a huge thing that always happens. Who would make a good surprise? So what do you guys think? Who would probably make a surprise after this year's WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw? Remember, call or text the show, 614-641-0674. Give me your info and see who would probably show up the night after WrestleMania and see who will step up or who will step aside heading after the show of shows. Now, if I had to give my opinion on the matter, if I would probably say maybe a diva probably from NXT, maybe stepping up to Ronda. Or maybe have someone step up to Braun Strowman that was from NXT. But I can't really name him right now. But either way, it's an up in the air question. So we clearly do not know the answer until the night after WrestleMania. So definitely that is definitely that. Because besides The Undertaker, no one enters the ring for WrestleMania matches in a better style than Triple H. Oh, funny you bring that up, Albert. Thank you for bringing that up. WrestleMania entrances. Now those are key also. Now, we all know The Undertaker's entrance is already bone-chilling enough, and we all love it. Of course we do. We love The Undertaker's entrance. Now, Triple H has also been gracing his presence at the grandest stage of them all as well with his entrances, and they are pretty killer as well. Now, I probably have to say my favorite WrestleMania entrance would probably have to be Triple H during WrestleMania 25, where he was staring at himself in a mirror, then took a sledgehammer and broke the glass. Now that was good. I enjoyed that one. And that was when he had a rivalry with Randy Orton for the WWE title. Now that was a good one. Now another probably favorite WrestleMania entrance of mine would probably... Who was a favorite entrance? Gotta go with the Hardy Boys. Going with the Hardy Boys when they made their surprise return. Now that was a good one. Definitely getting out of my seat out of that one. Now that was definitely a big one. And then also having John Cena return at WrestleMania 32 when no one knew he was coming. See, it's always the surprise entrances that always get the best of you and then just make the pay-per-view about maybe like 5 to 10 times better when you see just a random superstar or maybe Hall of Famer come out of nowhere and just show up and have a grand old time. Now, I definitely have to kind of go with The Undertaker, who has the most bone-chilling entrance ever. And The Undertaker's entrance is never, ever duplicated. No one can duplicate The Undertaker's entrance. Is how dark and eerie it is. You hear the gongs go off and the fire coming up from the vents. Man, that entrance leaves everyone at a standstill. And the reason why is for intimidation factor. WrestleMania entrances can either be intimidating or the most funnest things to see on TV. And we all know definitely that The Undertaker holds the probably for the most amazing WrestleMania entrance ever. Hope to God that he comes down to the ring at WrestleMania wearing the death hand mask. He could wear a mask, but we don't know. I would love to see him bring him back that mask. But he wore that mask because his nose was broken. But again, I would love to see that mask. And then I would say best WrestleMania rivalries. Undertaker obviously having the best rivalries. You can't just pick just one because he's had so many. Now, I would probably have to go with rivalry-wise in matches. Probably have to go with the John Cena versus Rock rivalry because it expanded to 2 WrestleManias, so once in a lifetime and then twice in a lifetime. So they both won one and then they kind of just forgot about it. Now, we definitely haven't seen Triple H versus The Rock yet, so it could be a possibility that The Rock and Triple H might square off against at next year's WrestleMania. But again, we don't know for certain. But I really hope that does happen, because if it does happen, then everyone will probably be pretty excited. I would love to see that match. Rock versus Triple H one more time, because we already got Batista versus Triple H, so why not bring on The Rock? So yeah, definitely would love to see that one. So bad. Let's see, Batista is toast if Triple H comes down to the ring with that thing on. He almost ended Undertaker's streak in Atlanta wearing that mask. It was part of the ring attire ritual. Undertaker versus Mankind. Ooh, but Undertaker versus Mankind. That'd be a very interesting one to see. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. But we will talk about more about WrestleMania stuff later as we are going to come to a break. Remember, you guys are listening to Next Generation on Sports Talk Radio, The Score on air.com. The Score.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field. To schedule a visit, call 614-655-5250 or go to beonair.com. Stop dreaming about a career in sports and make it a reality at the Ohio Media School.
1 Alpha, take 1.
Are you someone who has always dreamed of a career in sports media? The Ohio Media School now offers a 6-month sports emphasis program to prepare you for a whole new career. Whether it's radio or television, play-by-play or production, the Ohio Media School has you covered. You will receive training from professionals that are actually in the industry. The Ohio Media School will get you where you need to be for a successful career in this exciting, expanding field.
And welcome back to the next generation of Sports Talk Radio, the score on air at score.com. The score. As I last left my lovely, lovely audience, I was discussing about WrestleMania matches, entrances, and, just the all-around spectacle that is WrestleMania. And they had so many themes going on with each WrestleMania. So it's going to be like that. So let's see. First question. Does Cleveland or Cincinnati have the infrastructure to host an event like WrestleMania? Huh. Good question. Trying to think. The queue is pretty big, but I don't believe so. But maybe where the Cincinnati Bengals play probably. Yeah, that's a good question. I would love to have WrestleMania here in Ohio somewhere. Okay, then your next question was regarding WrestleMania, do they not have a special day set aside during the week leading up to the main events called Media Days? And would Ohio Media School consider sending yourself and one of your other fellow broadcasters to a future WrestleMania to cover the event, the Media Days, if nothing else? Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah. Oh man. Now I'm gonna have to bring that. Up with the two people that do internships and stuff. We can do that. Like, yeah. Well, I don't think they have like media days. I know they have like hashtags and they got Twitter and stuff. They do have like maybe a media day when they're like leading up to the event, talking about it. Going around. Asking fans and going around getting shots of like all the memorabilia, the wardrobe, the WrestleMania stores that are selling out in there. Like they sell merchandise there. But oh my gosh, Albert, you literally blew my mind with that question. I would love that. I'm definitely going to have to bring that up with the people that are here if they're willing to do that. Because if they can, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so excited to do this. Because I seriously, oh man, you, wow. See, I'm so starstruck right now that you brought up that question. Yeah, I'm so gung-ho for that. And like you wouldn't believe, whoa, yeah, you just asked like the $1 million question for my life. Yes, I would love to go down to a WrestleMania and cover like everything that's media-wise. Yes, so very much. And I'm definitely going to have to bring that up with the guys that I talk to about, job opportunities and internships. I'm going to have to bring this up. And I'm going to have to kind of give you credit for that. Thank you so much, Albert, for watching me. I know you enjoy watching me every week because that's so grateful and I'm so happy for it. But definitely, as I said before, I'm definitely going to have to bring that up with the people that work here and have job opportunities and stuff. So definitely going to talk about that. Ooh, you got me all excited. You got me excited now, man. I'm real pumped. If they say yes to this, holy crap, I'm going to WrestleMania. And that's going to be awesome. I'm going to die a happy death because of that. But either way, I really do think that it would be pretty cool if I could actually go there with another student and myself to cover any like media days and stuff on the main events and stuff. Now, that would be amazing to do, and I probably would never forget it for the rest of my life. And just seeing all those men and women that pull out these matches and everything, it's just so awesome, and it would just be amazing to actually go down to a WrestleMania and cover all the media content for it. And oh my gosh, it would be so amazing. But either way, they do have like their access where they cover, they have autograph signings, they have the memorabilia store where you can buy WrestleMania merchandise, autograph, like all this other stuff. But either way, WrestleMania is just very, like, huge. Now, definitely, I'll definitely have to talk about that with a person that probably knows the wrestling business a bit more than I do. But either way, it's just going to be... I'm definitely going to have to keep that in mind. Thank you so much. But I really think that this is going to be very, going to be very interesting, in my opinion. So, I definitely think that having that type of thing covering the Ohio Media School covering WrestleMania, now that is going to be huge publicity for our school as a whole, and maybe have even people move from New York to Ohio to do this. And yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely bring that up, and I wonder if anybody will say yes. So fingers crossed. Really hope there's a yes somewhere in there, but definitely, as I was talking about, WrestleMania. It's the huge thing. Now, another thing is the announcers. We all know that Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and Jim Ross have all covered WrestleMania commentary, but now they kind of just, you got Michael Cole, you have Corey Graves, you have Renee Young, you have Byron Saxton, and Tom Phillips. No disrespect to all the younger people that are on the commentary table. It's just not the same without the original people calling the matches. It's just not. It really isn't, because we all miss, JR saying, "Oh my God, they killed him," but, or having JR just say, "What? Oh my God." Oh man, it's not the same without Jerry and Jim Ross. But we all know that they're on to bigger and better things, and yeah, it kind of stinks though that JR and Jerry Lawler aren't around. Well, King is actually around the WWE. He's just on the kickoff panel, but not on the commentary team. I don't know why, but put King back on the commentary team, please, because at least him and Michael Cole were more cohesive unit. Like, seriously, like, King's just funny humor and everything. He made everything all light and cool, but now it's just, besides having Renee Young having a woman's opinion on the commentary table is actually pretty good. But, it misses that, finesse and je ne sais quoi, if you will. Now, I hope they approve, considering all the publicity you guys give pro wrestling, that will take Ohio Media School to a different and greater level. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bring this up tomorrow when I'm trying to think who would probably be the person I have to talk to. Ooh. You know what? I'll probably have to talk to Phil and Crystal about that, but definitely, I really hope they say yes too, because if they do, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be over the moon with joy for that. But either way, it's going to be so awesome, and literally just going to another state to actually enjoy the spectacle that is WrestleMania, and just watching all these guys and girls just do what they do best and actually covering it. Oh yeah, that would be amazing. But either way, can't wait for that day, WrestleMania day. Definitely, I'm really pumped for WrestleMania, and also for that. Definitely, just because I know that we cover events that are mostly around here, like the Ohio State football games, Browns games, Blue Jackets, stuff like that, but never really pro wrestling. That'd probably be my forte. I'd probably be the head honcho that covers that area of expertise. So yeah, Jim Ross was a phenomenal blow-by-blow announcer, an icon. My issue with JR was he mistreated Karma. Oh, well, man, that stinks. But either way, see, you're getting sleepy already. Come on, wake up, girl. But either way, having the Ohio Media School cover WrestleMania on a huge scale, and even though the school is very small, but having that huge opportunity to actually do that, it's amazing to cover. And oh man, just me thinking about it is just so, I'm just so excited about it. Just thinking about it, actually getting on a plane, going to WrestleMania to cover all this media stuff, and then bringing it back to the school it's showing this is how OMS rolls and how we do. And man, it would be an amazing, amazing trip for me or anybody else that loves pro wrestling to go on. And whoa, oh man, my head's spinning just thinking about it. And whoo, man, I'm like really excited if they say yes, because if they do say yes, yeah, whoo, I'm gonna be pumped for it. Like really, really pumped for it. Like cover, like the WrestleMania access, conduct interviews, talk with Hall of Famers as they come out. Oh man, that's gonna be just amazing to do, and I would really, really love to really do that. Just thinking about it, and let alone talking about it is something, but actually going there to do it, it would be amazing to do, and that'd be like something that would never happen, but yet it would happen. But I so feel in my little tiny heart that one day I will be at a WrestleMania, and I will either be there covering it, or they're actually calling the matches blow for blow. And oh man, woo! I hate that I'm getting tired already, but either way, definitely WrestleMania is huge in its own right, and I can't wait to see what goes on the grandest stage of them all. Definitely, it's gonna be awesome. But that's how it is. Of course it did. Reconnect successful. Of course it always does this. But seriously, really, like you told me, like you said, Albert, or typed, really hope that they sign off on this, and I really, really hope that they do. And I'm definitely going to talk to Phil and Crystal about this and see if they can maybe do that for me. That'd be amazing to do. But again, definitely gonna start planning for this. Like majorly planning. And oh man, I definitely would probably bring myself and then probably my homegirl that loves wrestling as much as I do. I actually have two friends that love wrestling as much as I do. I want to try to bring them up here to be on my show, but man, whew, that's gonna be the hard part because they're both busy. I'm busy, but again, I gotta make time for myself as well as my friends for us to do all of this. So even though I've been riding solo since the beginning, but still, well, kind of, but you know what I mean. I've been riding solo for the longest time, and I'm enjoying the ride like always. But definitely, I'll talk to my main people about doing that. So yeah. And then what other stuff that usually goes on during WrestleMania season? Let's just say a lot of crazy. Well, let's just say WrestleMania has a lot of like a huge international audience to begin with, and they just you see so many people from like Australia, England, France, so many different people that literally travel like a whole nother country over just to be a part of WrestleMania and a huge part of history. That's how big wrestling is. People just don't realize it. And WWE is like nationally known and internationally known throughout so many different countries, so many different languages. Why do you think they have so many different commentary teams in different languages? Like they have them in German, I think no, not Finland, Japanese, Korean. Just so many different countries that translate in different languages for all these pay-per-view events. So that's how big WWE is. They have all these different announcees like German, like they have German, Mandarin, Japanese, all these different commentators from different walks of life from different countries to cover all of these matches in different languages so the people that are in their countries understand. And WWE is just huge on a massive scale. And I don't think any professional sport, not even UFC, can touch WWE. Well, except for AEW, but so far they're not as, I feel, as, like big mainstream, even though Vince is a bit scared. But I think that WWE still holds that top rank in there with the, still holds that top rank as a sports entertainment global empire, if you will, because WWE beat out WCW and Ted Turner and came out victorious, even defeated his own son and daughter and Paul Heyman when they were invading them. So obviously, Vince McMahon is a pretty easy negotiator when it comes to selling out arenas, making sure his stars are on their highest degree or something like that. But definitely, WWE is still, I feel, untouched by any other sport profession out there. Definitely because they've been around for so long. I believe they started maybe around the 80s and 80s or 60s, I believe, and just going on and transitioning with time. You have greats such as the late great Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Abdullah the Butcher, The Rock, Taz, Brian Pillman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all these names that I mentioned, they have all came through WWE ranks or WCW ranks, but yet came to WWE to build up their status as a superstar, as a performer, and just, blows all of their matches out of the water than the last one. It says, why, in your opinion, do you think that WWE has been pushing a potential matchup between Ronda Rousey and Asuka? Whoa, big question. Gotta give you a big answer. Now, why do I think that WWE hasn't pushed a potential matchup between Ronda Rousey and Asuka? Now, I feel that maybe they're saving that match for maybe a later date. Now, I would love to see the baddest woman on the planet face the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. But I feel that if they end up pushing a match between these two women, it would probably feel like, oh, you guys should have saved this for a pay-per-view. Or no, you guys should have saved this for Raw. I felt like that's a big pay-per-view type match. Not like a match that you could just throw together on Raw or SmackDown. You have to build. They have to build up probably the hype between those two women, because Asuka has been undefeated for 2 years when she was NXT Women's Champion, and even heading on to the main roster, she was still undefeated until Charlotte broke her streak. Now Ronda Rousey, on the other hand, she has a UFC background, so either way, she's still a very tough competitor. Now, if they wanted to put these two women together, heck yeah, they would. But I feel that they're probably waiting for the right time to put these women in the ring together. Just not before probably they both have to compete at WrestleMania. So maybe they're saving it for maybe next year's Mania, or maybe a pay-per-view further along down the line. Maybe the Royal Rumble, or not Money in the Bank, maybe Backlash or the Elimination Chamber, something like that. But I feel they're trying to figure out a way to actually make this match happen, but just haven't had enough, I would say, enough time, or thinking of the right way to promote this huge match. Because both women are awesome strikers. They both defend their championships proudly, and I definitely feel that they need to make sure they put this huge match on a grand scale, not just on some rinky-dink pay-per-view, probably somewhere huge like the Royal Rumble or next year's WrestleMania. They can't just slap it on something. That's a match too huge to just waste. It says, will Rousey even be around this time next year? Well, there has been no talk about Ronda leaving the company. The only fact that we know is that Dean Ambrose is going to be leaving in April, but we just don't know what day in April, because obviously Ambrose has refused to re-sign his contract. Now, Ronda, oh yeah, she's staying around. As long as she still probably has that Raw Women's Championship, oh yeah, the baddest woman on the planet is staying around, and for good reason. And definitely Ronda has turned heel, and I like her heel side because obviously she doesn't take 2 cents from anybody, and she does what she wants. Because I feel with Ronda being her heel self, she's exploiting WWE for kind of how it rolls. And if Vince doesn't follow suit with Ronda's example, then they're probably going to lose a lot of profit with potential people. And obviously the storylines are very, very see-through. But Ronda definitely is going to be staying around as long as she still has the title. But if she doesn't, then she might leave. But I don't know. But I feel that Ronda is a very formative type of competitor to have around. Because you already have 2 UFC fighters, one being in Brock Lesnar and the other in Ronda Rousey. But the thing is, Ronda shows up to work. Brock does not. And I did not mention this earlier in my Raw part of it, Brock, as word of mouth by Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar will be making his long triumphant return next week, live from the Windy City of Chicago. I probably bet you that Brock will not show up. Paul Heyman, again, is all hype and no substance. That's all he is. And same with Brock. I really doubt Brock will show up on next Monday in the Windy City. Because obviously Heyman can't write a check his butt can't cash. So definitely I think that Brock will not show up because it's obvious. Brock doesn't like working for the WWE. If he doesn't want to work for the WWE, he should just give the title back to Vince and go back to UFC. Because seriously, everyone wants the champion to show up, but clearly Brock wants to show up at his own time and his own pace. But seriously, that's not how it goes when you're a champion. When you're a champion, you show up, you defend your title, and you make people wonder, why is he the champion? And they know why. When you show up and you defend it against any competitor that steps up to you, and you win. So far, the only champions that have probably shown up already are the Raw Tag Team Champions, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the Women Tag Team Champions, Intercontinental Champion, U.S. Champion, and that's about it. Even the Cruiserweight Champion has shown up, but yet one Brock Lesnar has failed to show up to work. And we're supposed to take Paul Heyman's word about him showing up next week? Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. Because we all know Paul Heyman can talk all he wants. But obviously we all know that Brock won't show up. If he does, then I'll eat my words. But if he doesn't, then obviously everyone knows that Brock Lesnar is a scared little boy. Because clearly Brock hangs on to the title for a reason, but clearly he's too scared to defend it. He almost lost against Braun Strowman, almost lost against Daniel Bryan, and as Seth pointed out on Monday Night Raw, this close to being beat by Finn Balor, a guy that never even lost the Universal Championship in the first place. But yet, Vince is holding back Balor And as well as Kofi Kingston. Why does Vince always have to hold back the good guys? Like the very good athletic type guys. But again, that's Vince's shtick. It says, how would Nikki Cross's WWE trend so far? Her adventures so far. Nikki Cross, she scares me. She really does scare me. I feel she needs to have a straitjacket on when she goes to the ring, and then gets let out when she's before her match, let out of her straitjacket when the match starts. But Nikki Cross has been a very formidable foe in the women's division. But the thing is that we haven't really seen much of her. So maybe she's just back on NXT for a reason. But I definitely believe that Nikki Cross is a very unique competitor. And yet she scares me. She literally just likes to hang around closed spaces and say, play. Let Nikki play. I'm thinking like, okay, this chick is crazy. But you know what? WWE has its share of crazy chicks. AJ Lee being one of them. And Mickie James being a crazy Trish Stratus fan. So it's nothing new. Let's see. Why would Vince just put it to Lesnar like he did Kofi Kingston? He was always talking about no one being bigger than the company, but he wouldn't pull that trigger on Lesnar. Let's see. I wonder why Vince probably won't pull the trigger on Lesnar, because Brock is a meathead. And obviously, if you look back maybe further of 2002, I think Brock Lesnar beat up Vince McMahon once. And I think he wants to avoid getting beat up again, but who knows. And then, I like Nikki. Well, I understand you like Nikki Cross, but Nikki Cross scares me. She's one crazy chick. But, well, actually, he did pull that saying, no one was bigger than the company. He pulled that shtick with Becky Lynch, saying, you think you're bigger than WWE. And I figured if he did pull it with Brock, Brock would probably just get irritated and probably just beat the holy snot out of Vince McMahon. Now, when Brock is brought up really in any situation, such as the rivalry with Triple H, Brock broke Hunter's arm. And obviously, Brock Lesnar probably needs to have, something to calm him down, because obviously Brock Lesnar is a lunatic. No offense to Dean Ambrose, but come on, Brock is completely off rocker. But either way, definitely I think Vince is probably scared of losing a big investment in Brock, but obviously Brock doesn't show up. He has to learn that Brock Lesnar is bad news and making his company wither away. And don't even get me started on Baron Corbin's GM run. Whew, that was something that should be left and buried to die. But definitely I think he just doesn't want to deal with Brock. Meat of head, legs of sticks. Yep, that's Brock Lesnar in a nutshell. He's got a meathead, he's got the body of an Adonis, and then he's got sticks for legs. Yeah, but either way, I do believe that Brock is just, he just wants to work at his own pace. If he wanted to work at his own pace, he should quit WWE and just work from home like most people. Because some people do work from home and they make an honest living. But I definitely think that, definitely Vince is just scared of losing Brock. That's all I'm going to say. Didn't Becky beat up both Stephanie? No. Well, Becky Lynch did beat up Stephanie McMahon. She slapped Triple H, though. She did beat up Stephanie McMahon. Now, that I found hilarious when she beat up Stephanie. I'm thinking like, yeah, Becky, get her. And she did slap Triple H. She did not attack Mr. McMahon. I bet she wanted to, but she didn't. Yeah, Becky Lynch did beat up Stephanie McMahon, and she did slap Triple H, but Triple H didn't really look like it bothered him that much. Yeah, so at least the man is back in WrestleMania where she belongs and is added to a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, as I said before, Becky or Ronda is going to take the win. I don't want Charlotte to win at all. I don't. She's had her championship runs. Let someone else do it. And jeez, Charlotte. No, can't deal with you anymore. Nope. But either way, definitely going with Becky or Ronda for the WrestleMania triple threat. For Rollins for the Universal title. And I believe that, and Triple H for the No Holds Barred match. Definitely going with that one. And then I am enthusiastically tired of both Lesnar and his pet walrus Paul Heyman. Yeah, me too. I'm tired of them too. I cannot deal with them at all. I can't. Ever since Paul Heyman burst onto the scene, I couldn't stand him. Jerry the King Lawler came up with a funny nickname for him, calling Paul Heyman a Paulrus. A Paul Heyman walrus. Yeah, but either way, like, Brock and Paul Heyman, they're literally made for each other because they're probably just downright evil people. And all they care about is money. But either way, definitely, yeah, but definitely Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Rollins is going to win. Definitely tied between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship match. Then Triple H is obviously going to tame the animal in a no-hold-barred match at WrestleMania. Now, we don't have any more matches that are announced except for the Hall of Fame class, which is turning out pretty nice. I wonder who will be another inductee that will be included in this year's class. Only time will tell, and we might find out on SmackDown tonight, coming on at 8/7 Central. So that'll be fun. As long as her last name is Flair and she keeps her blonde hair, she'll cast a long shadow over the women's division. Well, just because her name is Flair and she's blonde doesn't mean she's going to cast a shadow over the women's division. But, again, Flair's her daddy. She can't help but being blonde. And the thing is that she's not the one that really made the women's division as a whole. The women that were way before her, such as Chyna, Ivory, Jacqueline, Sable, Sunny. Jeez, who else? The Cat, Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, Trish Stratus, Lita, Mickie James, Gail Kim. Who else? Layla, Kelly, Brooke. Crap, I forgot who else. But all those women have paved the way before Charlotte even came into the picture. So don't get it twisted. So enjoy your show. It made my day. You take care and enjoy SmackDown tonight. Hit me up on Twitter. Definitely will, Albert. And I saw your tweet earlier. That was 10 hours ago when I was looking through my Twitter feed. Definitely will hit you up, man. But as the time winds down, my lovely, lovely listeners or people that just happen to scroll on by and not pay attention, I thank you guys so much for watching me every Tuesday, 4 to 6. Talk about nothing but good old-fashioned SmackDown wrestling, WWE style. I will be back next week where I'll be covering next week's Raw, and also SmackDown that I'll be covering also. I'll be covering tonight's SmackDown next Tuesday, as well as, SmackDown from the following week. And then maybe even more WrestleMania matches will be added maybe this week. But only time will tell. And definitely enjoy you guys. I enjoy every minute that I talk with you guys, talking about the sport that I love. And definitely, Albert, definitely going to shout that idea over to my the main people that run this school and see if we'll be able to do that media day. So definitely, that is a must. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, I'm Fun Size 2.0, and definitely I enjoy you guys so much. Remember, you guys are my lifeline, my blood that keeps me going every day. So definitely though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I enjoy all your guys' support. Thanks so much, and I enjoy it every week, just having you guys appear on here and just watch. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is Fun Size 2.0 signing out of here. And remember, guys, you listen to the next generation of sports talk radio, thescoreonair.com, The Score.